All right. You're welcome to today's session of the UI design training. So today is going to be exciting. That's my promise to you because I'll be introducing you to Figma environment. Figma is one of the top-rated UI design tools that most professional UI designers make use of. So in this video, I'll be introducing you to Figma proper. Then we'll start designing, right? As usual, you can type in the comment section where you are joining from and your name. So once again, my name is Prince and I'm going to be your coach in this training. So sit tight as we design together. Today is going to be exciting, like I said. So let's get started. Type your name, where you are joining from. Type your name, where you are joining from, so we can just do a little catch up and we get started with the training. So I'll just get on my screen immediately. Okay, I can see Oluwagbemiga from Ibadan. Awesome. So let's get started. So first thing I need you to know is this. I would like you to know that there are different design tools people make use of when it comes to designing websites and mobile apps. There are different design tools people make use of, right? But most professionals prefer to use Figma because Figma is quite easy to collaborate. You understand? Their process is seamless, and when it comes to handoff and collaboration, it's quite easy, right? So let's get real quick into our class for today. So the first things first, I'm going to introduce you. This is what the Figma environment looks like. This screen, I'm going to explain it. But before I do that, let me show you how to launch into, like, how to find your way to this place. I don't just want to assume you know how to do that. So I'll quickly explain how you can get to this part of the Figma screen. I advised everyone from the last class to set up their Figma account. So once your Figma account is set up, it's very easy. Let me share my screen on how you can do that. So I'm going to share my entire screen right now. So I'll stop sharing, then I'll present. Okay. So I'm going to share, do I have a Chrome tab? Okay, let me just share. So I'll share entire screen and yeah. So you can see my entire screen right now. So I'll just jump off to I'll go to a new tab and type figma.com, Figma, figma.com. So Figma is a web tool, web software, and also have a desktop version. But for a start, you can use the web version, you understand, for your project. So once you go to figma.com, as far as you have an account with Figma, it's going to open like this, right? You get to see your name. If you click this drop down, you see the email you signed up with, but that's not the issue for now. So I want to show you how to launch into your Figma environment so we can start designing, right? So once you go to figma.com, let me do that again, figma.com. It's going to load and bring you to this page. This is just like the landing page for Figma. That's the tool, not as per their landing page for sales or something. So you see this new design file, you see new fig jam, you see new slide deck, you see imports, right? Then you find your recently viewed documents, right? So when you start designing, take for example, this is your first time. Once you get online, one thing I also need you to know is that Figma does not have Control S, like to save your work, right? So whatever you are doing is going to save automatically online. So once you close your Figma file and you come back, you find the last file you viewed here, right? So these are my recently viewed files. It's looking a bit messy, but that's not the goal for tonight. So what you want to do now as a new person on the software, you come to new design, click on new design file, and it's going to take you to the environment. You see it load like this, then it's going to take you to the environment. So this is what the environment looks like. I believe we are good, right? So let me get back to my screen. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to quickly explain what the Figma environment looks like, because when an environment is new to you, you need to understand how you start navigating your way through. And just like it is for smartphones, yeah, when you buy PS2, PS5, as you keep using it, right, you get better at it. That's how Figma is. So I'm introducing you today, but trust me, as you keep designing, as you keep going over and over to the environment, trust me, you are going to be a pro in a very short time. So I'll just share my screen again. So please follow me and we'll make progress. Sharp. So the first thing I need you to know is this: Figma environment is divided into four parts currently. Is divided into four parts. That's the first thing I need you to know. So I'll explain that quickly. We are going to design something today, but like I said, you need to be introduced first before you can find your way around it. So look at my screen now. You will see we have the layer panel. This part that is highlighted with pink outline, that's the layer panel. You will find it here. I'm going to explain each and every one of them very fast. So you find your layer panel just like this. You understand? I will explain what it does. Anything you put in your design Canva, right? You find it here, but we'll get to that. So just know the what the environment is made up of, right? So we have the layer panel. The next thing I need you to know is that, okay, on the layer panel, we have where we can put in our title. You can see my current title right now. Look here. See my mouse is hovering. 2 weeks UI design training. If I click on it, for you, if it's your first time, it's going, you see something like this: untitled, untitled, untitled or untitled file, either of these. So what you want to do is that you just select it and rename it to whatever you want to save it. So you can choose to name it with your name, like Prince, or you can choose to name it, just double click on it, design class, DSIGN class. So you find the title of your file on the layer panel, right? The other things you find there, but you find the title, you find the number of pages for your design, then you get to see the layers. The layers will show you everything you have. Let me do something very quickly. Okay, I'll get to that. So the next thing I need you to know is this: you get to see your toolbox. Your toolbox is yeah, your toolbox or tool panel. Just call it toolbox for the sake of this class. BOX. So your toolbox helps you access different tools for your design. I will explain how we come about different designs. I will also show you samples of what I've done, right? So on your toolbox or in your toolbox, whichever the case may be, you get to find tools. Take for instance, this is shape tool. You can see your toolbox here, right? I had to do this screenshot so that I'll use it to explain what the environment looks like. So the toolbox is what you have here. See where my mouse is hovering. If your phone is on portrait and you want to you need to see it clearly, you can tilt your phone to landscape and your screen will be bigger. So your toolbox give you access to different tools. Take for instance, if I click on, this is the shape tool. So if I click on it, I have my rectangle selected. I'll just drag. So I have that. If I click on this small dot here, I'll see other shapes. Let's say I want an ellipse. I'll click on it, come to the empty space, hold shift, click and drag. So these are works. So your toolbox, there are different tools. I'll explain them one after the other, right? So the next, remember I said Figma is divided into four parts. I'm explaining the different parts, then I'll try to touch it in details, then we'll go into our design for today. So the next thing I need you to know is that there's something called control panel. The control panel is the right side of your screen. the layer panel is the left side, while the toolbox is below your screen. Then how does the control panel works? The control panel works, you can see the control panel here, see where my mouse is hovering. It works with whatever tool you are working with, right? So take for instance, I'm selecting the ellipse currently. If you come to the control panel, you will see the width of the ellipse and the height. Then if I click on this constraint lock aspect ratio and I come here, let's say I give this 500, see what's going to happen. If I press enter, see that the ellipse is bigger, right? So let me do something. If I click on the text tool and I type Prince, Prince, see what just happened. The control panel has changed. So let me select the ellipse. You see what's going to happen. So if I click that, so the control panel changes with respect to whatever tool you are selecting. Let me even do something. If I click on the frame tool, I will explain the toolbox shortly. You see that the control panel has changed again. So the control panel is flexible. It changes with respect to whatever you are selecting, right? That's how it works. It changes with respect to whatever you are selecting, as simple as that. So if I take another shape, let's say I take a line tool, click and drag. That's how you notice that the control panel has changed again. So you can now see the line, you see the dash, starting point, end point. But when I select the ellipse, you won't find starting point and end point, right? So what do you get to see on your control panel? Just like we see tools on the toolbox. I'm going to explain each of the tools after now. So, but what do you get to see on the control panel? You get to see things like the color of the shape. So this is fill color. You get to see the weight and the height. You get to see the position. So this is currently I shouldn't have been saying this right now, but then I'm already saying it. This is currently on minus 5,637. If I move this upward, you see that the position is changing. So on the control panel, you get to see the position of your items. You get to see the weight. Is it weight? No, width and the height. You get to see the fill color. You can add strokes if you want. If I click on add stroke, it's black now. Let me zoom out. So if I change this, like I said, you can fill color. If I change this to red, the red is there already, but it's not obvious. So I'll come over here and just maybe increase it from this 1 to 3 and I press enter. See what just happened. So the control panel gives you, see, as I'm not selecting any item, the control panel has changed. So what I'm currently seeing now is the property of my design canvas, right? You can see the page color is this color. If I change it to white, F, it has changed. But I like it the way it was. I'll keep it back, 1E. So but when I select an item, the control panel responds to whatever I'm selecting. So let's quickly go to the toolbox because we'll be working with the toolbox today. Let's go to the toolbox because we'll be working with the toolbox today. So I'll just get quickly on the toolbox. So this is how it looks like. So the first tool you find on the toolbox is your move tool, right? Your move tool helps you to select items and move them about your design canvas. Okay, I didn't talk about the fourth part. I've said something about the layer panel. We've talked about the toolbox. We've talked about the control panel. The fourth part of the Figma environment is called the design canvas, right? Your design canvas is this empty space you see here like this. It's as big as you can imagine. You understand? If I keep scrolling, it's scrolling. I'll come back. You can zoom out, like if you pinch it like this. Like if you're using an external mouse, you scroll up or down. But if you're using your laptop mouse, you let me do a demo. You do your hand, like let's say this is your mouse trackpad. If you do like this, it will zoom out. If you do like this, you zoom in. Just do something like this on your mouse trackpad and it works like that. As simple as that is. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm zooming out and in. You can see that. So So the Canva is very big, very, very big. It can take a complete website, you understand, and even more. So it's as big as you can imagine. So now that we've known that the Figma environment is divided into 4 parts, don't let it confuse you. We'll go bit by bit. And trust me, at the end of this class, you would have started designing something already. So just pay attention. So the first thing I need you to know is the toolbox. So the toolbox has this one you are seeing here selected. So if I click on the frame, you see the blue highlight. So whatever you are selecting, it keeps moving. As at the time I took this screenshot, I was selecting the move tool. So the move tool helps you select element, just like I've selected this box. Then you can click on it and move it around. Just hold your left click and you move your mouse like this. So the move tool helps you move elements around your design canvas. There's a small dot by the side. It means whenever you see small dot like this, it means there are other tools inside there. So let's find out. If I click on move tool, please, if you are hearing me, just type I'm following. I want to be sure you're following. If you are following, just type I'm following. That will make sense to me. So I'm not talking to myself, right? So yeah. Okay, I see you are following. Awesome, awesome. All right, all right. So let's keep going. So your move to, like I said, when you see it helps you move around when you click and you move. But when you see this small arrow facing down, which is this one, if I click on it, you will see that we have move tool, we have hand tool, we have scale tool. If I click on hand tool, I can click and just drag the canvas like this. That's what the hand tool does. I don't use it all the time. Then if I click on scale tool helps you to scale elements and items proportionally. Like if I click on scale tool and I drag, okay, let me keep it on move tool. If I keep it on move tool and I drag, let me duplicate this first. So if I drag like this, you see that the shape is distorted. I'm dragging the edge, but it's distorted. That's because it's on move tool. But if I select this one now and I set it to scale, I've done that. When you put it on scale, remember I said the control panel works with whatever you are selecting on your toolbox. So now I'm on scale mode. You will see my control panel showing scale. So if I drag like this, everything is going to increase. All sides will increase together. So you are increasing your shape proportionally, you understand? But when it's on move to, it's going to distort. You see what just happened? But the only way to save it from distorting is that you have to hold shift on your keyboard. Then when you move like that, you increase all sides together. So that's what the move tool, the scale tool, and the hand tool does. The next important tool in the toolbox is the next one, which is your frame tool. If you hover around it, it's called frame. Why did I write region? It's frame tool, not region. Let me edit that. So this is your frame tool. So I'll just quickly change this from region to frame. So your frame tool is where you do your design. Take for instance, we have different screen size. We have mobile, we have web, we have tablet, right? So the frame is where you do it. Let me give you a quick example on what I'm talking about. So if I zoom out like this, you see this design here, right? This is a WhatsApp screen I designed. You can see my name, Prince UI Design. This is a developer or SaaS web developer. So you can see, so this chart, let me zoom out so you see, there's a name here, chat. I've clicked on it. Once I click on it, you will see the blue highlight. So this is called a frame, right? If I want to design a website, I won't use a small frame like this. I'll use a wider frame. So that's what your frame tool does for you. It's a very, very important tool for your designs. So let's quickly work on our frame tool. So how do I get my frame tool? I'll just click on it like this. Like I said, the control panel works whatever you are selecting. So if I close this like this with this dot, we have phone frame. Excuse me, I have to turn off my camera now so that I don't distract you. Let me turn off my camera now. So we have the phone frame, we have the tablet frame. So if you are designing for a mobile app, you use the phone frame. If you are designing for tablet, you use the tablet frame. If you are designing for desktop, you use desktop like that. So let me click on phone. We have different phone size. We have 16, 16 Pro, 16 Pro Max, iPhone 16 Plus. I like using iPhone 13 and 14. So if I click on it, I've just done that. Yeah. So you see the frame. Once you click on the frame, you see the frame like this. Let me click on another one. So imagine I'm designing for a tablet, because most times, I don't know if you've heard of responsive design. You design for phone, tablet, and desktop. So I'll just click on tablet. Let's say I want iPad 11 inches. Once you click on it, you get the frame. So this is where you do your design inside this frame. So if I want to design a website now, click on frame, come to desktop, select either MacBook Air, Mac, but I like designing with desktop. You understand? So that's what it looks like. So this is where you do your design. You understand? So when you scroll through your WhatsApp, your banking app, this is how they design them. They design them inside frames like this, then develop them. Somebody may be asking, how many frames will I use to do a particular website? Very nice question. So let me give you a quick instance. So um, this is a WhatsApp screen I designed. This is the complete part. So you see this first screen is showing chats. The next one is showing that's all. The next one is showing unread. The next one is showing favorite. The next one is showing group. So each screen, when you click on your phone, right? When you click on your phone, let's say you want to go to chats, any screen you click on is taking you to somewhere else. Are you getting me? So that's how it works. So each screen is designed individually. You understand? I think we need to start designing now so I don't exceed 1 hour. So each screen is designed individually. So those when you press to see your chart, take for instance now, if I open, let's say this group, you can see this, right? So this chart, I clicked on a button and it opened. If I click on call, it comes to this screen. So each screen is a particular frame. You understand? That's how it works. So that's what your frame tool does for you. Then the next one is your shape tool, where you get to see different shapes. That's this next one. Rectangle, line. If I click on line, I've drawn a line already. Let me draw another. You click and drag. If I select arrow, let's say I need arrow for my design, I click and drag. If I need ellipse, I click and drag. If you want a perfect circle, a perfect square, hold shift on your keyboard. If I want polygon, that's triangle, I'll just click and drag, holding shift, so it will be perfect. If I want a star, I click, drag. So that's how you get to see your shape. I remember I said the control panel changes. Look at the star now. You look at it, if you check the control panel, you see that it's giving me the values for this particular shape. You can see that the star has 5 counts. If I change it to 4, see that it has changed. If I change it to 6, so the control panel just helps you let me say format or manipulate whatever shape or item. The next important thing I need you to look at, we'll skip this one for now and go over to the text, because if you check any design, right, you will notice that they are text. You get, so you need to know how to type, how to write your text when you are designing. So that's where this text will come. If I click on it, I'll just click on the Canva, type my name, Prince. You can zoom out. So if you check the control panel again, you'll notice that it's giving me features of the text. So you can see the typography, that's the font style. I can change it to anything I want. When it comes to design of website, we don't really use stylish font so much because it's not graphic design. You can increase the font size to whatever you want. And that's how the text will work. Then I think that's all you need to know for now about the toolbox. So it helps you select tools for your design. So before we start designing, let me just quickly walk you through some of the things you should expect when you are doing a design. It's called elements of design, right? Element of design are the items that make up your design. So we have text, we have shape, we have image. Let me bring that design close. You understand? So you can see what I'm saying. I'll bring this design close. You see the way I've selected it with my move tool, and I can move it from one point to another. So element of design are the items that make up your design, right? We have text, we have shape like maybe circle shape, rectangle shape, triangle shape. We have image. You can see image on this design. We have icons. You can see the photo icon. You can see the search icon. You can see the more button icon. You understand? If I scroll down, you can see more. Then we have colors. So these are different elements of UI UX design. Then we have pattern, right? On this current design, there is no pattern. You understand? But you can find your text, you can find shape. So looking at the WhatsApp screen, can you type on the chat section the elements of design you are seeing on it currently? Can you type? Tell me the elements you are seeing. If I can see text, type you can see text. Whatever element you are seeing, type it on the comment section. Remember I said elements of design are the items that make up your designs, right? So we have colors, we have pictures, that's image, we have text, we have icons. So okay, Treasure say you can see icon. Everybody should type. Tell me what you are seeing. Somebody is saying text. Emmanuel is also saying shape. Beautiful. It means you are catching. So the next thing I need you to know is that when it comes to elements, we also have combination of one or two or more elements rather. So when we have two or more elements, it's called components. You understand? So components of design, we've talked about element of design, which is the items that make up your design. Then the next thing is components of design. I can also say elements are like this, the smallest units of your design. You understand? A text, a shape, all of that. So for component is when you mix or you put two or more elements together. You understand? So we have a lot of components, but I'll just mention but a few in today's class. We'll do more as we make progress. So we have button, we have cards. I will show you all these things. We have list, we have navigation bar, we have text field, we have search bar. These are some of the elements. Let me show you example. For instance, this all is a button. You agree with me that the all has a text and what? A shape, a rectangle shape with sharp with curved corner radius, right? This is a component because we added a text and a shape together. This is a nav bar. If I click on it, you see it selected. I'll teach you how to build this thing, don't worry. But you see that inside this nav bar, we have an icon, then we have a text showing this is chat. We have an icon, we have a text showing this is course. So a navigation bar, you know what navigation bar is. It helps you navigate through an application or a website. So on your WhatsApp, now if you want to check status, you click on status. That movement is called navigation. So it's called a nav bar. So the nav bar is a component, right? It has icons and shape, right? Sorry, and text. If you check this floating button, you see that it has an icon and a shape. So when you put more than one element together, it's called a component, right? So for the purpose of this class, just take note that we have dealt with components of designs, and we have also dealt with elements of design. So I said element is the simple items that make up your design. We have text, we have shape, we have colors, we have patterns, right? And icons, images. So these make up your design. Then element component is when you put these two elements or more elements together. You understand? So that's how it works. So let's now get to what we have for today. So in course of this training, I want us to design, and we will not just design. When we are done designing, we will test our design on our mobile phones. It's going to be that exciting. You don't need to code it because there's something called prototyping in UI UX design. Prototyping is you doing a demo of your design on how it's going to work in real life. Doing a demo of your design on how it's going to work in real life. So when we are done designing, it will take like 2 days to design. Then the third day we are going to prototype, right? So for the sake of this class, I've mapped out something we'll be working on. It's going to be very exciting. If you have Google on your phone, you know, we have Google and Google Chrome. So if you have Google on your phone, just type I have Google. I have Google. You know Google. Google is a very popular application on our phones. So if you have Google on your phone, we'll be designing Google interface. You understand? Then we'll prototype it exactly how it is on your phone. You will design it. You understand? So if you have Google, type I have Google. Yeah, so I'll show you a sample of what I've mapped out for us to design. Okay, so we've learned a bit. So let me just go straight to the point. So I'm sure this is familiar to most of us. This is a screenshot of my Google on my phone. We'll be designing this. It's very long. You understand? This is just, you can see it's cut in the navigation bar. In fact, let me even test your knowledge now. Let me test your knowledge. So mention any of the design elements you can see on this screen. Any design element and component you can see on this screen currently. These all be designing. You understand? It's long, like I said. If you check your Google now, okay, you're on YouTube already. So maybe after this class, launch your Google app. You will see that it's scrollable. When I scroll, it's almost endless, right? We'll be doing that, then we'll test it, we'll scroll it on our phone when we are done designing. You understand? So mention the element you can see on this interface right now. Somebody saying shape, somebody saying color, somebody saying icon. Beautiful. It means you are getting what we're talking about. So let's dive right in, not to take much of your time. Button, beautiful. So this is the button. If you click here, it also take you to scan photo. This is translate. This is do homework. This is music. Like if you click on it, it's going to any music that is playing, I guess it's going to find the music for you or something like that. Then this is a search bar, right? You can search for any item. So this is what we'll be working on in course of these 3 days. And when we're done designing, the most exciting part about design is you seeing your design come to life, right? Seeing how it's going to be deployed. So when we are done designing, we will test it. I will show you how to prototype. Let me quickly give you heads up. So if you come to the control panel, I don't know if I have the screenshot, if I cut it properly. Yeah, I did. So if you come to the control panel has 2 parts, the design part and the prototype. So the prototype part is where you get to demo what you have designed to show how it's going to work in real life. So if you come to my main control panel, you see that if I click on prototype, I see it's already showing me a screen size, a phone screen size. So when I'm done designing, I will display it here, and not just here, we're going to use our phone, your own phone, to check out what you have designed, and you see it work. So let's get right in. Now that you've known, okay, to go back to design mode, I'll click on design mode. Now that you've known what elements we have here, we're about to start designing now. So the first thing I want us to work on today, it will take 2 days to design. This design, as simple as it looks, is very long. You understand? Because we'll be building elements from scratch. So the first thing I need you to know is when you want to do a design for yourself, right? You go to your Google on your phone, open the app, like not Chrome or Google is different from Chrome. They are similar, but they do different things. So Google do more of maybe you want to transcribe, you like translate, you want to not transcribe, translate, you want to scan and find images. That's this first one. So there are some basic feature Google does, and you can now see some news underneath. So go to your Google, launch the app, then take a screenshot. That's how I came about what you are seeing on my screen right now. So the next thing I want you to do right now, probably my WhatsApp is connected to my laptop, so I can easily share image from my phone to my laptop, right? So if I send myself a message on WhatsApp, I'll just open my WhatsApp, copy the email. Let me even show you this one I did, if I have it, so you can know what I'm doing. So if your WhatsApp is not connected, find a way to do that. Connect your WhatsApp. It's very easy. Then you can share the image. So right now, let's start building. First thing you want to do is, let me take this out. You will come to your frame tool, click on the frame tool. You see desktop, you see tablet, open phone. There are different phone sizes. I would advise you select iPhone 14 and 13. You understand? Select iPhone 14 and 10. But if your phone size is big, or let's say you are using iPhone, if you are using Android, select iPhone 13 and 14. I think that's like the big size of Android screen. But if you are using iPhone or any of these iPhones, select the one you are using, because you are designing your Google, right? So I'll choose iPhone 13 and 14. Then we'll have our screen size. You see the name iPhone 13 and 14. I can rename it to let's say Google, Google. How do you rename? You just double click on that title to enter for it to edit. Google interface. I press enter, renamed it. So the next thing you want to do is, once you paste this on your Figma, let me show you how to paste it very quick. Let me show you how to paste it. I'll share my screen shortly. So if your WhatsApp is connected already, this is what you do to paste your screen. Let me show you my WhatsApp screen. So what I'll just do right now is I'm trying. So I'll go to my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp is connected already. So this is me. Are you seeing this is, I sent myself this picture from my phone. So if I open it like that, this is my chat. This is me. If I click here, just right click, go to copy, go back to your Figma file, come back here, right click, see paste here. This is how you bring in images from WhatsApp on your desktop, on your laptop rather. Once you paste, you have that image. So any image you want to paste there is very easy to achieve. All you just need to do is go to your WhatsApp, send yourself the message from your phone to your laptop and all of that. Then open your laptop, and that's all. You get to see what you are trying to copy, right? That's just it. Very simple. So let's now continue. I don't like keeping my face for long, so I don't distract you, so you won't see my face now. Let's walk the way I'm going. All right, so I've brought my image here. Why I'm showing you this is because sometimes when you paste your image, it might be bigger than your frame. Remember, this is the frame we chose, and we got it from our frame tool. I clicked on frame tool, went over to the control panel, selected iPhone 13 and 14. Let me do that again. If I select iPhone 13 and 14, it's like this. Like I say, if your phone size is bigger, select your phone size. But if you don't know your phone size, select iPhone 13 and 14. Because this image I paste here is bigger than my frame. See what I'm going to do now? I'm going to make use of the scale tool. I'll come over to the move to select here. The short key for scale is K. If I press K on my keyboard, it activates the scale tool, but I'm just doing it manually so you see how it works. I've activated the scale tool. So if you check your control panel, you can see it's on scale mode. What do I do next? I'll come over to the edge here, then just click and drag it inside. Once you see this red line, it means they are lapping together. I think the top is already the same. What I did first was to bring, let me use this other image. You bring it close to the top first. Once you see that red line, it means the top is lapping together. So it's on scale mode. I'll come to the edge down here, click on it, and just drag it like that. Once you see this red line, it means it's now the same size. So the next thing I need you to do is there's something called layout grid. So if you check, let me go back to move. If you check this design now, you see that there's a space between the edge of the screen and the elements. If you keep scrolling down, you see that that space is maintained. Did you notice? Down to the navigation bar. So this space between the edge of your screen and the starting of your element is called margin, right? To achieve that margin, this is how I'm going to do it. I'll click on my frame. This is very simple. Once I've clicked on my frame, I'll go over to the control panel. Because I'm selecting my frame now, it's showing me properties of what I'm selecting. So I'll just come down to this C layout grid here, click on plus. Once you do that, you add it. You can see these boxes, right? That's what the layout grid looks like. But there are different kinds of layout grid. First thing I'll do, I'll come here, layout grid settings. I'll click on it. It's currently set to 10. I'll keep it at 8. We have two types of grid size. We have the 10 and we have 8. If this is confusing you, don't worry. When you are watching the video again, as at the time you want to do your assignments, because at the end of this class, we'll do assignments, you understand it well, right? So I've set it to 8 pixel. The next thing I'll do, I want to change it from grid. These boxes is called grid. I'll change it to column. So if I click on this small dot here by the grid, you'll see column and rows. I'll set it to column. So we have 5 column, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll change it from 5, see it here counts. I'll change it to 4. I'll press 4 on my keyboard, press enter. Then the next thing I want to do, we don't have that space yet. I'll come over to this place called margin. This is where we achieve that. Then I will set it to 16. Somebody type 16. 16 is the margin between the edge of the screen and the beginning of our item. So everything I'm designing, so we have margin, we have gutter. You can leave the gutter to 20. Gutter is the spacing between your columns. That's this space, and this space. But the spacing between the column and the edge of the screen, that's this space here, and this one here is called margin. You understand? So everything I'll be designing will be, let me draw a box. So if I click on my shape tool, get a box, everything I'll be designing will be between these 2 points. So I will give this extra space. That's how we can achieve this thing you are seeing here. So where do we start from tonight? Where do we start from tonight? First things first, this is how I do my design. If you notice the screenshot, you will notice that we have the area that has our network bar, our time. We call that what's the name? I can't remember the name right now, but this is your network. Is it component or so? Yeah, the component that has your network bar and all of that. I won't ask you to create this from scratch, even if I can do it, right? But I will give you something at the end of this class. I have something for you. So you can see this design I did. I'm going to make this thing available to you, and some of the icons I'll be making use of, I'll drop it in the group so that you can just use it to do your own design, right? So I'll just double click and drag this out. To take out an element, you press alternate. It's called duplicating. I'll click on my mouse, press alternate, and drag it out. You see what I'm doing? I've taken that out. So I'll just bring it down like so. All right. So we have our network bar. I will make this network bar available for you. Don't worry. I'll make it available. Then we have our navigation bar. Two things I'll teach you today is I'll teach you how to use plugins, where to get all these icons, right? So we'll be building our navigation bar today, and we'll see how far we can go with some of these things. So let me start designing. So we've gotten our layout grid. The next thing I'll do is this. I'll get shapes to map out different areas of my design. So since I've gotten this picture close to my screen like this, see what I'm going to do. I've gotten this rectangle. I'll just take it edge to edge. What am I using this shape to do? I'm using it to map out the area. You click and drag it. I'm mapping out the area for my design. So for this network bar side, the height of this shape is currently set to 102. Let me make it 30. So you see that 30 can take the network bar. Let's check for our navigation bar. Is way bigger. So I will click on the box, use alternate to duplicate. Once you press alternate on the shape, you can click and drag holding alternate. So I've duplicated that box with alternate on your keyboard, alt key. I'll just bring it down. I'm not using the box to design. No, I'm only mapping out the areas I will do stuffs on. So I'll just drag this down. I don't know the exact size. So this is my navigation bar. So I'll keep this space for my nav bar. You can change the color if you want to make some difference. So I'll just increase the darkness. I'll use alternate to duplicate this again. You click alternate, hold your click key and drag. I will reduce this like so, then bring it down here. They are the same color, so I'll quickly change the color so it shows that difference, right? Is blue fine? Okay, let me keep it at blue for now. So this part will be my phone navigation bar. Like if I want to go back, if I want to minimize, that's this blue part. Then this next box will be my Google navigation bar, right? Then this top part will be for my battery, network, and time. Then this remaining space is where my entire design will come in. So let's start with building our navigation bar. How do I do that? I'll right click rather. Can you see plugins? I don't want this class to be too long, so I don't want to exceed 1 hour. So if I click on iconify, okay, go to plugins by right clicking on your design Canva, come down to plugin, go to manage plugins, then type iconify. Iconify is a plugin that gives you access to hundreds of thousands iconify hundreds of thousands of icons. Right, if I press enter, I'm going to see, I see different icons. So if I just come to this search bar now and search for home, HOME, press enter. Can you see the home? Please take icons that look like what you are trying to replicate. So this home looks like it, but this one does not look like it. So I won't choose this one. I will choose something close. So if I click on it and drag, I have that. The next icon I'm looking for is search. I'll come here, type SEARCH, press enter. You understand me? Okay, let me look for something that looks like that. I think this second one also looks like it. I'll drag that. The next icon is tag save here, but the real name of this stuff is bookmark. That's also saving. So if I do bookmark, BOK, MARK, press enter, you can see it, right? The first set they are showing me is not looking like what I have here. You just try to be patient, scroll, scroll, scroll till you find something that is very close. Let me just keep searching. When I see the one I want, I will know. All right, we're close. This looks like it, but it's looking very fat. Let me just keep searching. We'll find something much closer. All right, we're getting close. Okay, perfect, perfect. This one will work. So I'll just take this one close to the B exclamation. Then I need notification, NOTIFICATION. Once you press enter, you just search quietly, calmly, and you should find, I think that first one does not really look like it though. Let me just see. If I don't see anyone, what you want to do is you choose the one that is closest to what you're looking out for. Okay, let me go back. I think, okay, I'm going to get something here. Yes, yes, yes. This should work. Yeah, this should work. I'll just click and drag it out. So I've gotten all the icons I need. We're building our navigation bar and we'll call it a day. Then we'll come on Monday. Monday is our next class. Then we'll do the remaining design. But let's achieve this first. So this is what I'm going to do. Since I have my home button, sorry, home icon, I'll go to my text, click on text, type home, HOME. I'll duplicate that. Okay, please, when you type, I think the default text is Inter. Mine is not on Inter right now, and I'm not planning to use this can it. So I'll change it to Inter. I'll just come here and type INTR. But your own default text will be Inter. But if it's not, try to use Inter. So we have the text name Inter. We have the size 17. I want to use for navigation bar. There are different sizes of text. When we start designing deep things, I'll tell you more about that. But for navigation bar, we use font 12. So instead of 17, I'm going to click 17 and go straight to font 12. Then if you look at it, it looks a bit thick, so I won't use regular. I'll change it to maybe medium. Medium is fine. So I will use alternate to duplicate this. Alternate, click and drag, you duplicate that, SEARCH, search. I'll do duplicate with alternate like that, SAVED, saved. I'll do alternate, NOTIFICATION. Remember, I'm using font 12, medium, Inter. Font 12, medium, Inter. So if I change this to regular, see what's going to happen. I see that the weight of the text is changing, right? But we're using medium because what we have here looks a bit thick. So next thing I want to do is I want to build now. So I'll click on this. The color here is blue. Google color is blue and all of this. I will make all these icons available to you. But for now, you can get this particular icon from Iconify. So let's just quickly do that. If I click on this icon, I'll come to the control panel. Can you see the selection color? It's currently black. I want to use the Google blue. So I'll click on it. Come to this thing. This thing is called eyedropper tool. It helps you pick and copy colors. So while I'm selecting this, I'll click on eyedropper tool, come over here, click on it, and I get that Google blue. Right, I'll do same for this. No need, I can just select this one. Now I have the color code. I'll click on it, press Ctrl C to copy it, go over to home. It's currently white. White is FFF into 6 places. I only know the color code for white and black. Black is 00 to 6, white is FFF. But every other color code, I just um, get it as I'm getting it right now. So I'll press Ctrl V. I can't master 0858 as this blue. No, no, I won't do that. I need to use my brain for something better. All right, so that's that. So notice that there is a shape behind the home button, right? How do we achieve that? We'll go to our shape tool. It's a rectangle. I'll click on this. It's not a perfect square, so I'll draw it like a rectangle, like this. What size will I use? You can bring your shape close here. You see that this one I've drawn is even small. So this is how I can just drag it like that to know the size. No, Control Z. Drag it like this, like so. Then I'll keep it at maybe 34. So the height currently is 32. I'll keep it at 34. Then I can leave this guy at 70. I hope it's not too okay. 70 is not bad. I'd have even preferred 60, but let's see how it goes. I'll bring this shape here. How do I get this color? Same thing I did to get the blue color. I'll come over to the fill color, click here. It's selected though. So I'll click on this. This is what I do for a living, right? This is what I do for a living. So don't see like it's boring. This is what I do, and they pay me thousands of dollars, right? So I'll bring this material inside here. It's currently behind it. I'll press my keyboard. There's a key that looks like this. See this key? Let me type the key here. If I do that, let me bring it to the front. On your keyboard, we have this key. They call it parenthesis. So if you type this first one, it will bring element to the front. That's this one. If you press this other one, it takes elements to the back. So I'll just select this. I think this is too big. If I keep it at 70, so I want to keep it at 60. So for the width, we'll use 60, but for the height, we'll use 34. So I'll highlight the two of them like this, click and drag over it, then press Shift A. Shift A is called auto layout. Once you press Shift A, if you check your control panel, you see this auto layout. It means auto layout has been added. It's currently aligned to the left. I will align it to the center. See where I am. Look at my mouse. Click center. Is aligned to the center, both top and sideways. So I have this thing here. Now we're building our navigation bar. So the edge is currently 0, the corner radius, this appearance. So if I click on it and I type, let's say 24, see that's giving it that curve, right? We're making progress. So right now, I want to do something. So I will just duplicate this with alternate. Alternate on your keyboard is for duplicating elements or components. So the next thing I'll do, I might choose to name this as home. See this frame 1000, sorry, is it 1 million? Whatever it is, 1400, just double click on it. Call this home, HOME. Then I'll bring this guy here. We've added auto layout to this first one. Oh. I'll select the home, select the icon, press Shift A again to add auto layout. So auto layout is like grouping different elements together. When you are doing your assignment, don't use Ctrl G to group. For those of you that are already familiar with design, maybe graphics or something, I know Ctrl G is for group, but when it comes to UI UX design, Ctrl G works also, but it's not professional. So what works better is Shift A, which is auto layout. So you can see that they are together now, right? Next thing I want to do is, based on my design experience, this search also has this rectangle behind the home, but it's not visible. So how do we achieve that? Let me even talk about the size. If I select this home, the way it is like this, if you come over to the layout, the control panel, you see there's 24 by 24 means the height and the width is a square. So you need all your icons to be the same size, right? So if I select the search, why am I bringing this up? I want to be sure everything is the same. So my search is also 24 by 24. If I select the save, save is 16 by 16. Are you seeing why I'm bringing that up? So I have to bring it to 24 by 24. So it's now the same size with the others. So if I check this is also 24 by 24, makes sense. So I was trying to say that for my experience as a designer, this search also have or has the rectangle behind. So I will just click on this one, press Ctrl C or Ctrl X to cut it. If I come here and I select, remember we use alternate to duplicate this one. So if I select this guy and I right click and paste to replace, it's going to change the home. If I duplicate this guy again, like alternate drag, this is one way to put in these icons inside the auto layout. Another way is I'll just click on this, then drag it inside like that. Then I'll click on this one and delete. So whichever way works for either you are cutting, let me duplicate this again with alternate. Either you are cutting like Ctrl X, then you select this one, right click and paste to replace, or you choose to drag inside and delete. Whichever works for you is perfect, right? Like I said, it has this rectangle, but it's not visible. Another thing I would like us to steal as per color, I'll select this icon. I've selected it by just clicking on it. If you come to the selection color, it's black. I'll click on it, take my eyedropper tool. This color is not pure black. You zoom out by doing like this, like, let me show my face at this point. So I'll just click on it. It's going to change the color. You see that color has changed. So to achieve that, this is what I did. You will zoom out like this. Like if you are using your mouse trackpad, you zoom in is like this, zoom out is like this. Just on your mouse trackpad, like see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing like this, like this. But if you are using your what's it called? You're using external mouse, you scroll your the scroll yeah, is it button? Scroll whatever that thing is. Okay, it's called knob, the scroll knob. We have right click, left click, then the scroll knob, and you will zoom out and zoom in. You understand? So let's continue. We're rounding up already. So I've gotten this color. I don't crank color code on. So I need that color. You notice that the search button, sorry, the search text is same color with the icon. This one is highlighted already. That's why it's showing blue. If I click on search normally on my phone, it's also take me to the search screen, then to be blue. If I click on save, so this should be blue. But now on this screenshot, we just have the home selected. Let's quickly run. So for the search, I'll just select this guy, this icon, come to the selection color, copy the color. If you just select it, you press Ctrl C, come to this search. It's currently FFF, which is white. I'll Ctrl V there, enter. So I've gotten that color. I'll bring it close. Let me even check the auto layout here. So I've selected this guy. Auto layout have measurements. Okay, the spacing here is 8. I think 8 is too far, but it's not bad. You understand? Let's leave it at 8 for now. So I'll do the same thing here. I'll just select these two, press Ctrl V. The color code is selected already. When I press enter, I have that. I'll come here, select the icon, go to selection color, press Ctrl V, press enter. You see I'm changing the colors, right? Come here, select this, go to selection color, press enter. You see what I'm doing, right? I've changed all the colors. Next thing I want to do is to put them together. So I'll bring the search button here, search text. Like I said, this thing is not, what's the word? It's not showing here, it's not visible. So how do I take that off? I'll select it. I'm selecting the entire selection. If you come here now to the control panel, you see that color is set to fill. Are you seeing it? What I'll just click on minus and take it out. The rectangle is there. You can see it here, but it doesn't have outline and it doesn't have fill. If I give it a stroke, it's going to have an outline. But if I press minus to remove the stroke, so it's there but no fill, no outline. That's what I want to achieve. So I'll select, while selecting that, I'll hold shift on my keyboard. When you want to select more than one item, you hold shift, press this, and you do shift A. I've added the auto layout, so they are now together. So the spacing between them is 7. I'll leave it to 8. Come here, auto layout, press 8, enter. I'll do the same thing for here. I can call this HOME, home. I'll call this, I'm renaming it search, SEARCH. Then we're building our navigation bar. Once we have achieved this, in our next class, we took this long time because I had to introduce you to Figma. But the next class you already knew, so we'll just get onto our designing. Let me select this first and take out the color. I'll come to the fill, go to minus, click minus. I've taken it out. Do same here. Come to the control panel, press minus. The rectangle is there, but just that the spacing between them is 10. I'll keep it at 8. Press 8, enter. Press shift A. Shift A is to add auto layout. Once I do that, you see this auto layout added. See it. I'll name this saved SAV. So this is how we build UI elements, and we're creating solutions that people will pay us huge for, and it will solve problem, user problem. I'll do shift A here again. The spacing between the item is 12. I'll keep it at 8. 8 is perfect. Since we are working with 8 pixel grid, okay, it's currently aligned to the right. Keep it middle like this. Okay, perfect. I'll call this notification, NOTIFICATIONS. So the next thing I want to do now is I will select all of them. They are separate. So if I carry the home, I'll bring it here. Carry the save, bring it here. Carry the that's search rather. Bring it here, then bring this one here. So what I'm doing now, just click from here over all of them, click and drag. Once I do that, I'll come to my control panel, align them vertical together like that. Once you press that, align vertical, it's going to align like that. Then I'll put it on shift A, auto layout. So I've grouped all of them together. We've gotten our navigation bar. So I'll name this as NAVIGATION bar. If I bring it inside my screen, it's going to take, so see what's going to happen now. Because our margin is 16, right now I've added auto layout as I round up. If you come to the auto layout, there's something called padding. This value that is 0 and this other one, this is horizontal padding, while this is vertical. So I will set this to 16, then set this also to 16. You see what I've just done? I'll lap it there, then drag this to the end, align this to the middle like that. So let me take it up a bit. At this point now, remember this rectangle I used here was just to map out the area. I didn't do anything with it. So right now we delete it. I've selected it. That's why it's highlighted. If I press delete, I've taken that out. And we have our navigation bar. When you are watching this video for the second time, while you want to do your own tasks, like I said, I'm going to make, okay, for now, you can use your plugins. Go to plugin, manage plugin, then search for Iconify. That's how you get all these icons. Iconify, enter. Then any icon you want, you just come here and search for the name. If I do search SARCH, you will see the icon. Try to get something that looks exactly like what we have here, and you'll be good to go. So right now we've done our navigation bar. If I select the screen, that's the Google interface, and I come over here to the layout grid, this I button, if I turn it off, you see that we have this set already, right? So if this is making sense, this is what we are doing today. So I've been able to do my navigation bar. You understand? Watch the video. Your first assignment right now is to get this done. That's your first assignment. You are working on your navigation bar. You understand? When we prototype, if you click here to go somewhere, you understand? Trust me. So you're working on your navigation bar right now. You're working on your navigation bar. That's your first assignment. So that will be all for today. But I have one information right now before we go. I know some of you are taking a leap to either switch careers or get a better income skill, right? So UI design is something that can help you achieve that. I want you to take this here. I would have shown you my dollar account on this, but we're already taking so much time. There is a lot you can get as a designer. So don't play with this opportunity, right? Don't play with this opportunity. I expect that by Monday, which is our next class, your navigation bar is already set, right? So before we go, take a moment and subscribe. Some of you are getting value, but you don't want to subscribe. Take a moment, subscribe, and turn on notification bell so that when I share content, even after the 2 weeks, right, you can see it and you jump on it, you get value, you are pursuing your career. The last day of this class, we'll be talking about where to get jobs. I'll share more content about how to get foreign jobs, how to master your skills, and all that. So subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and we are good, right? Take a moment. If you have not subscribed, subscribe. So I'll see you guys in class on Monday. So before then, I'm going to make the icons available for you. But for today's assignment, which is our navigation bar, all you need is your plugin, which is Iconify. Right click, go to manage plugins, type Iconify, and you get the plugin. So that'll be all for tonight. If you've not subscribed, subscribe. That'll be all for tonight. I'll see you guys in the next class. I wish you success in your journey. Have a good night rest. Thank you.